All right, Coach, introduce yourself and we'll get started here.
Lisa Stockton, head women's basketball coach, Tulane University.
All right, Coach. Season's over with. Recruiting starts. It's a day-to-day grind, as they say, until the beginning of practice. Just talk about what's going on since the spring.
Well, certainly it's springtime. You go from spring to recruiting to camps, our players on campus. We were lucky this summer to have a lot of players on campus. So players worked really hard, got a few weeks off, and then back at it again.
Target is on your back. You've been picked preseason to win the conference. It's consistency the key to that?
I definitely think consistency is key. You hope you avoid injuries. I think this league has so much parity that there's so many games that are going to be big games on your schedule, and you got to show up every night to be able to have a chance to win this league.
Talk about this conference. For a while, it's been one bid, maybe two, depending on what happens in the final game. But this season, so far I've heard it's open.
Oh, I think it's wide open, and that's one of the things with Conference USA that's been exciting is that each year any team has a chance to win it, and sometimes that adds more excitement for the fans just because it's not a one-team league that's going to dominate the league. So it's going to be exciting.
What's going on? How's practice been so far up to this point?
I love that we're able to start early. I think the players have come and they're excited. They don't want to condition anymore. They're ready to practice, and they've been great. We've got a lot of players back from injury, and that's been a real positive for us. So we'll just see how we develop.
Who stood out as far as the incoming freshmen and the upper class leadership since practice has started? Well,
I think the one thing with us, when you look at our team, with 14 players, we have 10 players that are sophomores or younger. So we have a lot of young players. And to see those players grow every day, I think that's real important. Our senior leadership is huge for us. Olivia Grayson and Janique Kotsky have done a tremendous job leading that young group. And it is a big job to lead those 10. Really proud of last year's freshmen. They've matured and come in as sophomores, and I see a big change in their development.
Talk about young Grayson. She's been picked on the first team preseason Conference USA. Let's talk about her as a player.
I think Olivia, what she brings is just her versatility. She's a great rebounding guard. She passes the ball well. She handles the ball well. She can score and she can defend. So she's not one of those players that you look at and they do just an extraordinary score and average and everything else. I think she's a good all-around player and can play so many different positions.
Talk about the schedule. What's it like? What's on it?
We play some of the SEC. I mean, that's important for us. We play LSU, we play Auburn, we play Ole Miss. We have those on our schedule. We travel to Arizona for a tournament. But, I think it's important to challenge your group with a competitive schedule because once we start conference play, there is no games off, so you have to be ready.
Talk about that. Conference USA it's a year within flux of changes. Hopefully, teams that'll be here will make sure that the teams that are leaving. I'm not trying to put bulletin board material out, but basically it is what it is.
Well, I think I've been a part of Conference USA since its inception 17 years ago, so I've seen a lot of changes, and I've seen a lot of teams come and go. You certainly want to make sure that the teams that are here, you want their programs to be good so we can continue our tradition at Conference USA. But it's kind of bittersweet. You hate to see teams leave because you started developing these rivalries, but you're also excited about what our potential is in the future of the teams coming in.
Is there anything else I hadn't asked about Tulane women's basketball that you can think of? Nothing else. Nothing going on campus. I mentioned the coach about the growth and all the facilities and stuff. Actually, that's one of the things. Facilities at Tulane.
We have Final Four too. We're hosting the women's Final Four too, so that's something.
What? Talk about that.
Well, I think it's last year we had the opportunity to host the men's Final Four and be a part of that. Our players did a lot with that, and this year we're really excited for the women's Final Four, bringing them to New Orleans. Our players have a role as far as community service and getting out and really promoting women's basketball. So it's going to be a fun year.
All right, then. Reintroduce yourself and we'll close out.
Lisa Stockton, head women's basketball coach, Tulane University.
This is Jerry Lee Woodley Jr. with the King Size View College Sports Report.